Okay, people, this video is going to be basically titled Synchronicity. Okay, if you wanted to know more about synchronicity and Carl Gustav Jung, you can go to his Wikipedia page here. The idea of synchronicity is that the conceptual relationship of minds, defined as the relationship between ideas, is intricately structured in its own logical way and gives rise to relationships that are not casual in nature. These relationships can manifest themselves as simultaneous occurrences that are meaningfully related. Synchronistic events reveal an underlying pattern, a conceptual framework that encompasses but is larger than any of the systems that display the synchronicity. So, the suggestion of a larger framework is essential to satisfy the definition of synchronicity as originally developed by Carl Gustav Jung. He was 1875 to 61. Citizenship, he was Swiss. His residence was Switzerland. Okay, this is the video we're trying to trace. It's 40 seconds long here on my computer. When it went to YouTube, it added a second to make it 41. Okay, notice it said Jesus there. The morning of January 24th, on my 77th post, at January 24th, 2413 at 3:55 was the timestamp. Now, I'm going to say, notice that people say that the lights were out at the Super Bowl for 33 minutes and 55 seconds. Okay? I just happened to have noticed that the other day. Notice this video that I posted was 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Okay, this Batman episode 33 is Find Finny Fiends. In that video, Bruce Wayne's aunt mentions that to a gentleman that says, "Wasn't your great-grandfather's tap by Skull and Bones?" And she says, "I'll have you know, he founded Skull and Bones." So I did want to point this out because this goes along with what's going on there. Now, if you read these, this starts out, "Hi Diddle Riddle." That's the very first episode in 1966, January 12th. Okay? So if you read these, they read like a bad nightmare. So let's look at 33. Find Finny Fiends, May 4th. Okay? Let's look at my birthday. True or False Face. Okay? March 9th, 1966. Malachi Throne. Alright? He was the actor. Okay? Malachi Throne. Remember that. Okay? And now, I wanted to point out these other episodes on Jesus' birthday. A Spell of Tut. Tut's case is shut. Okay? King Tut. Okay? There's another March 9th on my birthday, Batman's Waterloo. Another King Tut one. Okay. Now notice this one for September on Jesus' birthday. The Wail of the Siren. Okay. Joan Collins. She was just on Drudge the other day. Okay. The day I actually discovered this, Joan Collins was on the Drudge Report. Okay, but now notice this very last one at 1:20. Okay. Minerva, Mayhem, and Millionaires. There's 3 M's right there. Okay, on March 14th. Okay. If we look at 119, and we all know, some of us know about the number 19, along with an 11, and the entrancing of Dr. Cassandra, March 7th, 1968, Dr. Cassandra Spellcraft, Kabbalah. Okay? Just wanted to point this out to you. Okay? So now, did I point out that this was at 3:47? Okay. We also wanted to look at, well, we're just going to use the threads to do this. So I believe I'm done with that right now. I'm done with the Batman episodes. That's documented. So we want to go back to the God Zone. So now, episode 33, Find Finny Fiends, was in 1966. It was the 33rd episode, and it mentions Skull and Bones, roughly at 16 time-wise. Okay? The F is the 6th letter of the alphabet, so you have 666 there. It was released May 4th. So I say more Batman fun. I remember I did a Batman file for some mysterious forum person, okay? Blaine says, unless we forget our brother, the Dark Knight. So before any of this Batman stuff came out, there was a guy on the forums calling himself the Dark Knight. But the person who had me make that gift wasn't the Dark Knight. It wasn't the avatar or the name of the Dark Knight. It happened to have been Scooter. Okay, so now, as we're going along here, I want you to notice that I made a declaration that I almost died in the sea as a little kid, and something told me to lie on my back. I had a woolly coat on, and after I wrote that, the day later or so, I was like, oh my God, who else wears woolly coat? Sheep do. Okay, so remember, that video started, the only thing mentioned in it, the word is Jesus, okay? YouTube added a second to make it 41 seconds. So now, when I made this post, it's January 24, it's 5:56. Now, that I believe there's like an hour. It's adding an hour to things, but that's irrelevant anyway at this point. So it took me about an hour or so to find the timestamp on this, and I just wanted to show that it was 2006. Okay? I posted this here to show the picture in the episode, and I said why, and I played with the word oh why. Why oh why? Because this is Yale from Connecticut. Oh, wait, Connecticut, right. The home of Skull and Bones. So because Skull and Bones is mentioned in this 1966 video of Batman, I decided I would show the video I created on Thanksgiving, which shows the clock pointing at George Bush Sr. in 1947. Okay? The Super Bowl was the 47th Super Bowl. Little did I know. Notice the time right here. 33:47 is when this video got uploaded. It got uploaded at 3:47. But notice you can do this 3347, okay? So that George Bush video was this was from 1947. The second hand is pointing at our 41st president of the United States. Okay, now you can say, well, that's reaching, Mark. You have a Skull and Bones video, and now you're trying to tie it in with the Batman episode from 1966. Okay? Bob Kane is the creator of Batman through, I believe it was DC Comics. I could be wrong. Bob Kane, he was born Robert Kahn. Okay? He changed his name at the age of 18. So I found that to be very interesting. In The Simpsons, The Real Housewives of Fat Tony, it mentions Sandy Hook. Much like that video, well, I might as well just find it, because this is critical, I think it is. Okay, the X-Files predicts 9/11. So there's the lone gunman with the people hitting the towers.
Mark Simpson holds out a stack of money in his hand and it makes an 11. Pointed.
So there you go.
At a silhouette of New York with the two towers making an 11 and a 9 just pops up in the air right beside it. And he goes, ha ha ha. Made no sense. Didn't even say what it meant. It was like, ding ding, 9/11 with the towers. And Bart Simpson goes, ha ha ha. It's so much fun. And they believe because of what they're into, you call it Kabbalah, whatever, it's all the same junk that, all these groups are into. That they believe it's called lesser magic. They believe that you show what you're going to do before in a riddle. It's like the Legends of Vampires.
Okay, the original air date.
They have to knock on your door and trick you into saying, welcome, come in. And then later they think they can come back. Look, they're crazy. They run everything, though. And I'm not
September 21, 97.
Why?
Okay, so now, the original air date here, which the mention of Sandy Hook is May 1st, 2011. Okay, so the guys are standing here and they're undercover. The undercover cop comes up too, and he's sunning too, but his wire is still taped on to his body, so his undercover wire. And he says in that episode, he says let's talk about our crimes, right? He's undercover. And then the scene goes into where Fat Tony says, oh, it is my daughter or his niece or whatever, and she went to Sandy Hook Vocational School, and then she does the devil's hand, horns or whatever with her hand. So you'll have to look at that to understand. Okay. So then I mentioned that this woman here in this whole other video, this is from a movie of some sort. I don't remember which movie it was, but I thought she looked like this lady. Whether she does or not, I don't really know whether she's the same lady or not. So then Blaine posts some stuff from Newtown. Okay, this Masonic stuff. All right, so now the map maker for the Sandy Hook, he's the one that put Sandy Hook in the map, and he dies before the shooting in Aurora, California, in a car accident. And this is the part I thought was really interesting. It was the car that hit him supposedly was driven by a guy from New Canaan. Okay? So this individual that put this stuff in the movie is actually from Newtown. Go figure. Okay? And he's part of the Batman movie. I think he worked on, this is the list of the movies that he worked on. So, I'm not a movie guy, so I don't know. I don't know hardly any of all this. Okay. Now, what I do know is that the Aurora building was pictured in the Skyfall trailer that those people were exposed to before the shooting occurred in Colorado. Okay, so now you're probably going, well, what does all that have to do with 41? I just noticed this today because Jer posted or Reject the Treason posted the new number 2 Yomp, and then he posted the lyrics, and I found the lyrics to be very interesting. So what I posted was, however that is possible, it happened. Okay, little did I know until today that that was at 11:41. I posted that the night before the Super Bowl. Okay, so now Bruce says to me, I have no idea what Mark was referring to either. Okay, so then I tell you guys, okay, go to this link. Okay, and this is when I discovered this. This is the original thread I posted the Skull and Bones video that I made on the Happy Thanksgiving thread. Now look at what's going on here. I asked if he thought those pictures were fake, and he brings all this out. Now notice this last picture that I used with in 47 with Bush in it, how they sit more in an M. They make a M more. Now, more than these guys here or these other guys. It's like no big deal there for them, but they really bring it on, and there's a V right here with the Skull and Bones on it. So anyway, he says that I answered a question before he had a chance to answer it. And he goes, however that is possible, it happens. So I thought it'd be interesting and lead to some more interesting posts that night before the Super Bowl if I just copied that over. Little did I know that I would discover what he had actually done here. And to this day, nobody's really commenting on it. Okay, I don't know what he's thinking about it or not. But notice the Mickey Mouse Club, the M&M Milan's high school football conditioning. There's some stadium here. And then there's Kevin Bacon in the fraternity paddle or whatever, getting a ritual. And then there's these other videos. But notice now, his post is 22. Okay? Okay, yeah. So, now notice this. Super Bowl 47, stoppage was 3:55 for the lights. They went out at 13:22 at the Super Bowl. Okay? Now, at this point, I don't know what else I can do except go, okay, I'm just going to come right out and ask, no matter what happens, did you have Blaine turn off the lights at the Super Bowl? Because Blaine's down there in Louisiana. All right? Real funny, huh? For 33 minutes and 55 seconds. And he says, I was going to ask you the same thing. Yeah, it's on his movie night thread. Right? Yeah. It's on the movie night thread. So now, in the course of me going back over there and checking that stuff out, okay, we have he posted Mickey Mouse, okay, Mickey, then we have football, then we have a stadium, and we have dark. Okay? Now, granted, let's look at that one more time now so we don't lose track of what's going on here. Okay? Notice 11:41. Okay, so now Now we get to move on to yesterday. Okay? So yesterday I'm talking to my friend from Las Vegas, and he knows all about this because I've been talking to him about it. And so I've been living with this for a couple weeks, going, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? So yesterday he has me Google, he suggests that I Google 41. So I Google 41, okay, and I come up with this Wikipedia page. Okay, and we notice 41 is the smallest integer whose reciprocal has 5-digit repeated whatever. This is consequence factor. 41 is a factor of blah blah blah. Now you come down here and you look at we have the 41st floor of the of a government building for Morpheus in the Matrix. Okay. We have Ben-Hur. We have Charlton Heston's designation as a Roman warship slave. Okay. We have the last Boy Scout. We have the Frighteners, precinct number, and Ghostbusters. Okay. Which that's very interesting. Remember that. We have Doomsday, the zombie virus, the district number where the zombie virus reappears. We have the rise of the Cobra, which this is the year of the snake. This all happened yesterday on the 13th, by the way. We have Lady Tanaka's Yakuza hideout in The Punisher. We have an Alfred Hitchcock film in 59, North by Northwest, crop dusting plane, corners on Highway 41. So it goes on and on with that. If you wanted to read it more, go there. You have a Spider-Man. In religion, Christianity, 41 represents 39 lashes Jesus received before the crucifixion, plus 1 for the spear in his side, plus 1 for the crown of thorns. Okay? So, now, the other thing that showed up under 41 was this Dave Matthews Band video. So, I clicked on that. I watched a little bit of it. I didn't check out the lyrics or anything. Jenny came home, and then I went to look at the 41 lyrics. Was 41 police. But anyway, the lyrics I thought were kind of weird. And so I copied and pasted these, and I put them into Notepad, right? And I put them into Notepad so that we could watch the video. So I had them over here in Notepad, and I'll show you exactly how I did it. So Notepad. Okay. There's the video. See, it's still, Notepad is still in the way that I had it. So then we watched the video, and I was looking at all this, and so it's kind of weird, the lyrics are. Anyway, so then she's like, oh yeah. So we hadn't heard nothing about Dave Matthews. We went to one of his concerts years ago, and I wanted nothing but to leave the concert. So now this is where it gets interesting. So 41, I decided to do 41 in biblical numerics. Okay? And I came up with this right here. Let's see if this was it. And so I went like this, spiritual numbers 1 to 41. Now, when this PDF popped open, I could have fell off my chair. Because right here it said 41 and it said Mark. And I had no idea at the time why it was like that. So I left this open, and Jenny was doing laundry, and I said, you come and look at this page. And so I went and sat on the couch, and she was in the bedroom. And so I grabbed the remote control and I turned on the TV, and Dave Matthews is the first thing that was right there on TV. On Channel 22, the news was doing a story because some Globetrotter, the Harlem Globetrotters, saw Dave Matthews in Seattle or something. Apparently that was the story because it got repeated this morning. But I'm telling you right now, when Dave Matthews was right there on the freaking TV, as soon as I turned the TV on and I was looking at him, I was like, oh no. Because I don't even watch TV. The only reason I wasn't at my computer was because I wanted her to see that 41 was over Mark right here. Well, here's the rest of this story. Look, you have Mark, then you had Dave Matthews. Matthew is 40. And look, Malachi is 39. So what was that Batman episode on my birthday? It was Malachi Throne. And I'm telling you right now, we the other day, me and my friend from Vegas, we both read the whole book of Malachi. Okay? And so now I still didn't at this point know that what that 41 pertained to with Mark. So I started some favorites and I called it Jesus Christ and Me. Okay? So then I went right here, interesting, and I found this. John, whose surname is Mark. So many of you know about my experience in the mountains when I was homeless and I saw those ships. The guy that was with me, his name was John. We called him Johnny, okay? He went off into the church system. I stumbled around. I didn't know what to do after that, actually. I became a drunk and a worse druggie than I ever was before. I saw that. That was in 94, and it was September of 94. Okay, so now, why am I saying that? Well, look right here. When I seen that this was the 41st book in the Bible, I was like, what? And then I came over here and I read this. The quick succession of events in Mark is indicated by one Greek word which occurs how many times? 41 times in the book, and is translated 7 different words. Immediately, anon, forthwith, by and by, as soon as, shortly, straight away. So me and my friend started, I started reading the book last night. Mark records the effects of amazement, fear, and awe that the miracles of Christ had upon the people. So I guess that's a good place to end this video right now, actually. But I did want to share this site with you guys. This guy is a Canadian farmer up there in Canada. There's only one other person I saw operate on the level of gematria that I see that is involved in this site. I just found this site yesterday. So I'm not so sure. I've only seen the level of gematria being practiced a few times on the forum, so I don't know if this is the guy. I thought it was interesting that Bible Numbers for Life. I have a YouTube called Bible Studies, and I use the number 4 for life. So I thought that was kind of a, neat little coincidence there too. But I found this site to be very helpful and very interesting. So I thought I would share that with you. The last thing I did want to share with you also was I find it interesting that John Kerry is taking over the State Department, being that everybody knows he was a Skull and Bones member. So he's taking over the State Department. On the same day that he was taking over the State Department, we had Chuck Hagel, being interviewed to take over the Defense Department. Now, let me tell you something. There's no doubt in my mind that that's Hegelian dialectic right there. The whole Hegel thing that was going on with the Department of Defense and the Secretary of State switching out their office, and here you have Hegel as being the main story in the news that day. Not John Kerry being Skull and Bones taken over, but Hegel. So as we proceed through this year, you can see the heat is on. Like I said, we started this video with Jesus Christ and a video that had the number 40 on it. And once it got digitized and put onto the internet, it became 41, and that strange chain of events took place. So you can believe what you want, but I personally feel compelled to share this information with you and how these things have developed since Thanksgiving. It's since Thanksgiving last year. So anyway, y'all have a good time. Thank you for watching my video. I'm sorry it was so long. I'm going to try to shorten it right now and see what happens. So take care, love y'all, and keep studying our Father's Word.